Now I have a question for you. How much do you know about stand-up comedy in Ghana? Well, in this Ghana month, we want to take you on a journey through its evolution from the days of slapstick comedy, what we call concert party, to a thriving industry powered by young, vibrant and talented comedians making waves on the global stage. In this feature, I delve into the evolution of stand-up comedy in Ghana and the meteoric rise of the man leading the transformation. This is Stand Up Obi. Enjoy.
Once
upon a time, before comedy became a solo sport of quick wit and sharp punchlines, Ghana's comedy stage was dominated by theatrical storytelling and dramatization. The maestro of concert party, Bobukala, could fill the National Theatre with ease, drawing crowds hungry for rib-cracking sketches and slapstick humor.
In Ghana, before I became very, very popular, the most popular comedic style was concert. And it was done in the local language, you know. And concert is actually classified as comedy. If you're defining comedy, concert would be called slapstick comedy. They were doing amazing slapstick comedy, you know, we call it concert in Ghana. Concert party. They were performing slapstick comedy.
His mastery laid the foundation for a rich comedic culture in Ghana, one rooted in vibrant performance and elaborate humor.
In Nkomode and Bobukala, they knew their audience. You know, they knew their audience, so they tailored their performances to suit their audience. And they tried as much as possible to be contemporary. Ghanaian audiences love that. I discovered that myself. The more contemporary you are and the more you're able to relate the contemporary issues to regular day events, the more popular you get. So I think Nkomode and Bobukala were in that vein. Even before them, there was Bob Cole. Bob Cole, you were not born. Bob Cole, you were not born, because even I was a little kid. But he was, I think, Ghana's foremost stand-up comedian, Bob Cole.
But as the curtain fell on one era, a new form of comedic expression was waiting in the wings. From theater halls to boxing arenas, Ghana's comedy stage evolved.
Bob Cole started this way back. And then as I was growing, you know, the likes of Nkomode, but they were all latter-day saints, you know, because the earlier ones were the Kakaku group. It was also a concert party, but we had Kakaku and things like that. That was way back, you know. The departure started when Fritz Bafo and Tommy Annan-Forsen also got into the fray. Fritz Bafo was a stand-up comedian. He had performed so many times in Nigeria, and he was known, you know. Even before the Nigerian comedians became popular, Fritz Bafo was doing stand-up comedy, you know. So he came to Ghana, he was doing stand-up comedy, and he teamed up with Tommy Annan-Forsen, you know, who at one point also did the morning show on Joy FM. So I think it went from the tree concert, local concert thing, and then Fritz emerged with Tommy Annan-Forsen, and they came in the scene for a long time. KMSM came after Fritz and Tommy Annan-Forsen. Now we have the new school. Fantastic guys.
Legends like Bobukala, Nkomode, and Ejako ruled the stage with their theatrical storytelling. Humor was larger than life, performed in troops with dramatic flair. But one man, one microphone, and an eager crowd, that simplicity was elusive, almost unimaginable.
Good evening. Are you cold? Are you okay? You say you guys wanted the government to change the National Theatre air condition. Give that for Akufo-Addo. He has tried. Hey, Akufo-Addo need fans crowd. You clap for Akufo.
The 2000s brought a fresh breed of comedic giants, Acrobato, Funny Face, Foster Romanos, and DKB. These pioneers and many more stood at the crossroads of theatrical heritage and solo performance, ushering in a new era of humor. Their work laid the Flint foundation for the next generation. And leading this transformation is a man whose rise mirrors the changing face of the craft itself. This is the story of stand-up comedy in Ghana and the meteoric journey of its brightest star, O.B. Amponsah.
Let's welcome on stage a legend. He has done it consistently for 10 years. Who can ever do it better than him? Raised so many giants in this game, giving many hope. With a round of applause and some scream, let's welcome on stage Obi. I can hear you, Obi. I can hear you, Obi. I can hear you, Obi. Amponsah. Hey, make some fucking noise.
We're going to have a conversation with the legendary Oberima Amponsah. Remember, this is Stand Up OB. So let's unravel this man. Oberima, it's great to talk to you.
It's great to
on
talk
Joy
to you
News.
I like the legendary status.
Yeah, because you are a legend.
Yeah.
Tell us what life was like before the version of O.B. Amponsah that we get to see now.
That you get to see. Wow. So I grew up typically in the Bronga-Hafo region, like all my life, all my adolescence. Wow. So I grew up typically in the Bronga-Hafo region, like all my life, all my adolescent life, primary school, GHS, SHS, uni. Yeah, uni level 100 continuing, we're all in the Bronga-Hafo region. So my dad is a civil servant, now he's retired. And so they kept, transferring him from maybe, he started from Wenchi, went to Kintampo, and then my mom has to follow him. My mom is a teacher, so she follows him everywhere he goes. She takes a transfer and then moves along, and then we the children also follow. So that's how it was in our house. But then after work, my dad would just sit us down and start telling jokes. I'm not going to lie.
So it did run in the family.
Oh yeah, my dad would just sit us down and start telling jokes. And at some point, he'll use my mom as the throw point. And my mom is just enjoying it. We are laughing at her and she's just having fun with it. And she would throw hers back. Yeah, so it was that kind of fun moment. So when I went to the boarding house at a young age. I went to Breku Macab Complex. In Breku Macab Complex is where comedy started, really.
What does laughter mean to you?
Laughter means a lot for me. My line of work, laughter is like what I look out for when I crack jokes. Like, it's the end product of my work. Like, so I enjoy seeing people happy. I enjoy seeing the teeth of people just open up to my jokes and then laugh. It gives me some sense of fulfillment. The first time I tried that and then I saw like professionally on stage and then I saw the kind of impact I had on people. Like I had people going off, like falling off while laughing. I was like, this is it. There's nothing else I'd want to do than to do this.
So I guess that begs the question, when did you first know that you wanted to tell jokes?
Well, I think professionally, like to earn, it would be when I was in my final year in the university. Yeah, but like...
I know there's a story there, tell us.
There's that story, final year in university when I was in level 600 and my friends had like told me like on countless occasions from level 100 to 500 that, bro, you need to make a career out of this, do something. So finally in level 600, they decided to put together a show for me, like to help me put together a show. And so that show had me and another friend called Fakao on it. And yeah, that was the plan. And together, even the members and the audience were about 90% SDA. My church members, they were all there to support. 10% were like my classmates and some lecturers and all and was beautiful.
I'm Robert Chan Bushia. No more bone, no more jelly phone, no more jelly car, and what? I'm going I'm watching in a year, no eating, waiting, no. Roberts were surprised. I said, how? Robert, where one cat are credit? I can't age out, I can't create message now, no tonight. The frozen. Your family could Yama. Could Yama offering him. If you are what? I said, hey. If you are what? Yeah. How would you phone? Jokaki. Hey, I didn't believe you. I don't watch.
It was one of the best moments. After that, I was like, right, there's no turning back.
Yeah.
So my dad caught hint that I had done a show on campus, and then he called me. Knowing my dad, I was expecting him to berate me or like, you know. And then he asked me, I heard you did a comedy show on campus. I was like, you heard right, Daddy.
Yeah.
And he said, is that the career you would like to pursue? I remember this conversation very clearly. And I said, yes. He said, okay, enjoy it.
Just like that?
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, the moment we've been waiting for. This guy is an epitome of hard work, talent, and intelligence. Shall we give him a standing ovation? Push your hands together. Let's welcome the man of the moment, Obi Amponsah.
Obi Amponsah. Obi Amponsah. Obi Amponsah. Obi Amponsah. Obi Amponsah. They say Nanado was driving one day in town, right? He was at the back seat, you know, doing something on his phone, trying to type something. You know, he decided to look around Ghana. And then, you see that thing where you look at something and you have to look at it twice? He was typing, and then his eyes fell on the fuel prices. He was typing, he said, and then he shouted, hey! And then he called Baumia. Said, Baumia, near fool and a Drew, no. Baumia said, me the jam and me a Ghana card.
So when I came into the scene of Ghanaian comedy, there were pioneers, there were leaders there already. There were people that had actually watched while I was in school. I had watched Clemente Suarez and Romanus, that the Sarkodie and Auntie Mary video. So I knew these guys are comedians. The Intimidation, those guys. Then I had also watched Citizen Kofi, a comedy show that Citizen Kofi they were doing there. And I'd seen DKB, I'd seen Romanus, I'd seen Oscar, I'd seen David Agler. So I knew there were people in the industry already. In fact, DKB had a tour that he came to UCC when I was on campus. Came with Lexi then, so wow. I was just timing my cool and then watching. Yeah. That's a Ghanaian word, timing cool. And then watching how things were going. I was like, this thing I want to do it, but I was studying it. Yeah, I remember my first show, 50% of my jokes were mine, the rest were theirs. And what I realized was that the Ghanaian audience were always the same. So my approach, and then the next day I went for like the monthly comedy bar. It was the same comedians, but they were telling, some of them were telling the same jokes. It's like, no, I don't want to do it like that. I want, anytime somebody's coming to watch me, that person to have a feeling like, okay, this guy always gives me new content, so he can give me one of that. At least if he gives me 70% new and 30% old, I will take it.
So that's what you did differently?
I did, yeah. And a lot of people learned that from me. Like, I felt like there should always be some change. You shouldn't be repeating the same thing to these people.
The Ghanaian comedians have been able to turn the tables. And I'm so proud of them. So proud of them. You know, one of the earlier Ghanaian comedians, David Oscar, you know, I don't know where he is now, is one of the earlier ones who began that whole trend of Ghanaian comedy, the new trend of comedy. And then DKB came in, DKB, Foster Romanus, another very, very brilliant comedian. They were the crop of comedians that I inspired. Because comedy was there, but people didn't respect it much because there was a concert. Or Jimmy, they loved Bob Cole as far back as one of them. They loved Jaguar Jokers. They loved comedy, but they were also proud to say we are comedians. Jimmy actually more. So they had underrated it already. You know, Jimmy so it's like Jimmy Fono. You know, but when you think about it, if somebody says maybe Jimmy, I'm a worry. And then you pay money to go and watch it.
In a decade, Obi's voice became synonymous with stand-up in Ghana.
Hello. You guys know that, like, now you have to be ugly to be popular. Have you realized it? Too much. You have to do foolish things. That guy has a career now. Too much. And then if he doesn't do it alone, there's another guy naked.
I had a PA then who told me that this guy coming up with Obi was very, very, very funny. At that time, I was planning to do a show. I don't remember which of my shows it was. But my PA told me that this guy was funny and it would be great to have him open for the show. My first opening was this David Oscar. He did the first opening. The second opening was Obi, you know. And as I'm backstage getting ready to perform, I was listening and enjoying Obi's jokes, and I said, damn, this guy's good. So the first encounter I had with him was when he appeared to open for me on my show. And even backstage, I'm like, wow, this guy's good. He was making amazing stories about Doomsaw, and they kept them current and so thrilling.
Obi Amponsah. Well, my name is Elom. I'm the manager of 2927 Restaurant and Event Center. The very first time I met Obi, it was just about business, about comedy club, but today we are friends, and I told myself that Obi has to be my friend. Why? Because of his humor. I love his humor. Anything he says is funny.
Our independence is meaningless unless it is linked up with the total liberation of Haja for Real's music. Say what? Give me some.
But the road to fame was not without its hurdles. You know, they say great men are not great because of how they were born or what they did with their lives. They're great because of the challenges they had to overcome to achieve or chalk the successes that they did.
That's true.
Talk to me about some personal and professional challenges, how you overcame them, and how it has influenced the man you are today.
For professional challenges, I mean, I always get in trouble with when I do some edgy jokes. Yeah, and that I'm not going to stop. But I mean, it's a challenge in my industry, and I don't mind getting in trouble for work. Anytime you hear that Obi is maybe in the news or something, it's about my work. It's not about anything else. Maybe I'm going to do this comedy here, and and I like it because that's the job of a comedian. You see, for us comedians, what we fail to realize is, and a comedian friend from Tanzania told me that we are jesters in the king's court. Our job is to alert the king what is going wrong, but in a humorous way, and we are the only people who can do that. Anybody else who does that will be chastised for his political beliefs or whatever that he's subscribing to. But for us,
you have the cloak of neutrality.
Thank you. And we are able to make the king laugh, and we're also able to make the audience laugh as well. I think I did a joke about the ex-president, now the president, Mahama, and even after that, you know, in Ghana, you don't just you don't just get into religious jokes, traditional jokes, like jokes about politics. You don't just get into that. You need to have the heart of a warrior to do that. So I did that, and after even I did that joke, I told the audience in the auditorium that, guys, it's a joke. I had to emphasize that, guys, it's a joke. Do not take this seriously. And the people laughed again, because they knew it was a joke. But the problem with the whole thing was that it didn't end up in the auditorium. It didn't just end in the auditorium. It was being aired live on national TV. And so they were watching. People were watching from home. And so, different angles of attack, my dear. It was bad. I was trending on Twitter for the first time.
And for the wrong reason.
And for the, well, to me it was right reason.
So you didn't cry? You didn't...
I cried. I'm not going to lie. It happened on 24th December. On 25th December was Christmas. I couldn't enjoy Christmas because my number was all over. I was just trying to get away from everything. Like, people were calling me, people I didn't even know, like MPs. And then Sam George wrote a letter, on a long post on Facebook, that they should cancel me, either if I'm not taken from the then or if I don't apologize, they are taking me from there. They need me to be cancelled from the show. So,
has it always been an easy journey for you?
No.
In terms of your personal life?
No, it has not been easy.
I mean, we are trying to unravel you.
Yeah.
Let's get up close.
I mean, you know me, so you know me as a friend. There are times that depression just sets in. Like there are times that you cheer people up, but you come back home and face reality. You know, when the stage lights are out, when everything is said and done, and then you come back home to yourself and your lonely life. Because a lot of comedians find solace in making people laugh, but we are unable to like make ourselves happy. Yeah. I mean, suicide rates among comedians are high. Yeah. So when those moments come, we try to use other methods to entertain ourselves. So we listen to music, we watch movies, we try to encourage ourselves by watching, praying, getting involved in social activities. That's why I enjoy being a chorister.
His comedy journey began in optometry school, where his knack for humor couldn't be contained. By 2014, he took a leap of faith, and his story crescendoed into the historic moment witnessed at the Bukom Boxing Arena. In December 2024, Obi Amponsah achieved a milestone few have matched, filling the Bukom Boxing Arena, a feat that cemented his status as Ghana's leading stand-up comedian and underscored the evolution of comedy in this era.
You are strictly Christian and you still want to shout to Christian music, I have a way out. There's this song. So your wife or your girlfriend takes off her clothes and you are a little shocked and scared. You're like, I got Jesus in my life. Living for his glory, I'm on fire every day. And nothing can stop me. Doesn't matter what I face. Then take off your boxer. I am getting bigger. Every day we getting. Hey, Masai. Now your wife or girlfriend looks at you and says, hey, of late your energy is different. You're like, not by power. How is it not by mind? But who is helping you? By the spirit of the... Then you do a style and she says, hey, which style is this? Anything is... You look bigger. Now pick her to the kitchen. She will ask you, where are you going? Say, we have moved.
Obi Amponsah, a talented comedian who understands his craft. I want to assure all corporate sponsors, if you have a good, well-noted comedian knocking on your door that sponsor my show, run to them.
The stage that Bobokala once commanded has transformed. Today, it belongs to a new generation, one that stands on the shoulders of giants and pushes boundaries. From National Theatre to arenas reverberating with laughter, this is the story of Stand-Up Obi, a tale of dreams, determination, and a nation finding its comedic voice anew.
But me can win 10 votes. Napo will say something, 7 will clear. No, that I'm not the bride challenge. No, I'm not the bride, I'm the bride friend. And then Akufo comes like, I spent your money.
Well, that's the story of Stand-Up Obi, a tale of determination and a nation finding its comedic voice anew. And joining me for a brief conversation on the back of that is Oberima Amponsah Akoku. Obi, welcome to the program. Obi is joining me via Zoom for a conversation on the back of this. We want to understand a few things. First, how he feels about all this, that feat, filling the Bukom Boxing Arena, December 2024. No, it hasn't been done before. A stand-up comedian filling that arena just to entertain people. It was wonderful. I was there myself. If we have Obi Amponsah with me via Zoom now. Obi, welcome to the AM show.
Hi, sweetie, how are you? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I'm fabulous. How are you?
Awesome. So good to catch up with you.
I know. We just watched your story about how you started from Bukuma, a cow complex, and you're filling the Bukom boxing arena. Where are you speaking to us from?
Yeah, right now, I'm right here in the state of North Carolina, trying some, foreign comedy clubs, doing some jokes, testing, my Ghanaian jokes on the foreign crowd to see how far I can get with, the crowd work and all those stuff. So I'm out here hustling.
What happened to your accent? Anyway, a little bit told me that you're trying to venture into the American comedy market. Is that what took you to America?
Yeah, I'm trying to do that.
Tell us about that.
I'm trying to see a bit of their comedy market, because it is rife here. Like the comedy market is big, it's huge. Almost every night there's a comedy club happening. There are a lot of things happening, you know what I'm saying? So I've been trying to enter into the market. The only problem is that I got a thick accent. I got a thick Ghanaian accent. So when I speak, they are unable to understand it before the punchline. So it's kind of rough. So that's why I speak like this, sweetie.
Oh, Oberima. Okay. Well, now you're speaking to me in Ghana, so how about we reverse back to the Ghana accent? Tell me, having listened or watched your own story now, what do you think would be the fate of those you've left behind? I mean, you are gone trying to pursue the same career abroad, but how did you leave the comedy industry here in Ghana?
Oh, I have not left the comedy industry in Ghana. I'll be back.
Okay.
I'll be back. Like I said, I am one person who likes to challenge himself. Okay. I started about 3 years ago when I said, oh no, I needed to go beyond the boundaries of Ghana, you understand?
Yeah.
So that others, like I'm also able to explore other markets and see how best I'll fit in these markets, you understand? And so I started with South Africa, I did Rwanda, I've done London, even the States here, I've been here before, but this time I want to keep the work up and see how the hustle goes. So I haven't left the Ghanaian comedy space, and even like there are a lot of like awesome comedians left. You know, there's Lexi, there's Utogo, there's a plethora of comedians. Like the market is big, so if you needed anybody, you could get somebody. So it's not like I've left. I'm still around.
Right. And are you the first person doing this? A Ghanaian stand-up comedian traveling the world, trying to put Ghana on the map? Do we know of any other Ghanaian stand-up comedians doing that?
No, I'm not the first. James Brown has been doing it. James Brown has been selling out some auditoriums in Germany. General Tatia too has been going to Germany.
Right.
Even Augustine Dennis started in Singapore. David Oscar, well, he's a musician now. But the comedians are doing their bits. Like there've been a few. Ojo and Jumo actually went to Kenya to perform. And so like we are spreading our tentacles.
I like that. The industry is thriving. Oberima, my last question to you, what does this all mean to you, and what do you want to be remembered for? I mean, after today, when someone says Obi Amponsah, what do you want the person to remember you for?
I want to be remembered as the guy that brought happiness into the homes of people. The guy that, in spite of all things against him, he thrived. The guy that people said, you shouldn't be a comedian when you're a doctor. He still went ahead and pursued his dreams. I want to be that guy that inspires the young person to pursue his or his dreams as well. So, I want to bring happiness into people's homes. So at the mention of my name, the first thought that should come into people's minds is happiness. And that's what I aim at doing, especially with this brand of comedy that I do. I also want to be that comedian that didn't fear face, the one that said it as it is, because I believe that comedians are like jesters in the king's court. And ours is to draw attention to what the anomalies going on in our own humorous way. And that is what I do best. And I'm not going to stop, whether it's NPP in power or whether it's NDC in power or whether it beats your conscience or whoever is listening to the joke is affected. As long as my instincts are right and there's truth in there, we will speak it as it is. So I want to be remembered for the guy that was brave and funny.
Well, thank you so much. Are you still practicing optometry? That's the last bit.
Yeah.
And then, yeah?
Yeah, very well. I am still an optometrist. In fact, I plan to make so much money out of comedy that I can put money into doing free eye care for people in the rural areas. That is the end game for me.
Amponsah, thank you so much for joining us, and I believe we'll continue to tell your story. Thank you so
much too for the feature. Okay, God bless you so much for believing in my craft. God bless you.
God bless you. There is Amponsah, a young man redefining stand-up comedy in Ghana, and now he's taking it to the global stage, touring the world, trying to put Ghana out there on the map. Well, thank you so much for staying with us. There's still so much more coming your way. We have Benjamin Akakpo's blunt thoughts. We'll get a bit into the conversation on the removal or the appointment of a new IGP, and then E-Corner, all that on the AM show. We'll be right back.